on this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock.
According to Google, the web is in rapid decline, but also thriving.
We've been waiting a lifetime for this. Lifetime budgets are rolling out to more campaign types in Google Ads.
And Google Ads will help you massage your messaging with text guidelines for PMax and ICYMI.
Oh, on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Monday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Christine Zernheld.
AKA Shep.
I'm Gracie Miller.
And I'm Greg Finn.
And it's officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on September 15th, 2025. Happy birthday, Mom.
Aww.
All right, so you guys know that I'm trying to get in more healthy routines, and I feel like the beef tallow is working.
It's all about the beef tallow.
Do you not agree that my skin looks flawless?
It does.
So I have a challenge for both of you.
Oh, God.
Your thoughts on joining the beef tallow revolution.
What does this
I
involve?
need to do some more research.
I've got beef tallow right here for both of you.
I'm not putting it on over my makeup right now. I'll put...
your makeup.
Where'd you get this from?
So I got that online. It's the best beef tallow.
Okay, it's already losing points because it's one of those packaging things where it's sealed at the top, but there's no flap
it's
to pull
it's
it.
losing
But
points.
they don't
There's
have
no
a little
flap.
tab. There's no tab to pull the top
It's
off.
like a homemade company. They take a lot of pride
Here,
in what they
Well,
do.
I'm
my
never
finger
going to
in
get this open.
Not bad.
It
How's the smell,
smells
You put this on your
manly.
face?
This is not a feminine scent.
Oh, it smells clean. I was not expecting that.
Is
I thought it was
anybody
gonna smell
here?
like bacon grease.
I did
If not,
too.
I know Jess will be in. I know Jess will be down, but I'm trying to welcome you to the beef tallow family.
So, what do? You do your skincare? Do you wash your face? You got like
I'm
products?
not like a huge, I wash my face in the shower and then I put it on.
Oh, so you put this on after you wash your face.
I do.
You don't use this to wash your face.
Correct.
Do you put it on your hands? Because that's like an early aging place.
You can, and maybe you can try that. Maybe that can be your use of beef tallow.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to do a hand trial? Gracie, you're going to do a trial as well?
Yeah, I'm starting right now.
It feels so good.
Is this the brand you use?
I hate
the
to admit
brand
this,
I use.
but I do like it.
So why don't you just use it for your hands to start and
Oh,
then
it's
report
really
back?
shiny.
I'm just trying to get people into the natural living lifestyle and enhance your life.
Okay. I've been hearing about like camera improvements you want, like 4K or whatever. So it's time for Botox and beef tallow for me.
I really do like the smell.
It's good. It's citrusy a little bit. All right. And speaking of enhancements, if you're an agency, I have an enhancement for you. This week's sponsor, SignUp. SYNUP.com. SignUp.com. SYNUP.com. And SignUp is a tool that is a dream for every agency. Their goal is to help you make more money, save more time, and get more visibility into the things that matter for you. And a few different things that SignUp does for you, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, and I implore you to go check it out at SYNUP.com, that you can have this software that you can customize everything down to the pixel with. You can deliver seamless experience that is not just some pre-made platform, but is really catered towards what matters to you. Another thing that they have is a client manager, which is a dream for agencies. You can see all the client data in one space. You can add custom fields to store critical data. There is a great example that'll be up on screen where you can see how many people are signed to specific accounts, to specific clients. So you can see all that matters to you. And you can also get AI powered insights into what is happening with your clients. Another thing that SignUp allows you to do is to manage the entire client lifecycle, not just one step, not just the intro part, not just the pipeline, but you can see the full process from the prospecting and lead gen to your agency to the actual pipeline management, which is what most of these platforms do only. And then you get into the client management, service fulfillment, even invoicing. It is like an all-in-one dream platform for agencies. And there are lead tools if you're looking for more clients. There is a sales pipeline tracking tool so you can see everything moving through and hopefully replace some of those pricey sales only tools that you have. And automated sales workflows, which are awesome. You can also see that team activity management. What are people doing on each account? And if you have a lot of churn and you're trying to like see into the future as to what your agency's income, revenue, everything is going to be looking like, they have churn management, and you can say, hey, our churn is X%. Here's what it's going to look like. Here are clients that we have a risk of losing. And you can really get a better look as to your future and what you need to do today. And I just would say that thank God we have somebody that cares about agencies. We talk about it all the time. These platforms don't care about us, but we have SignUp, who is a custom tool catered to make agencies more profitable. Their goal is just to increase the GDP of the agency industry. And I am here for that. I appreciate it. And you should too. Go check it out. SignUp.com, SYNUP.com, SYNUP.com. And we'll put a blog post that outlines all of those nitty-gritty details I was talking about in the show notes below. SignUp.com.
First up in the news this week, Google hosted Think Retail and then Think Leads, which they then rebranded day up to Think Lead Gen. They were saying Think Lead Gen. Did they do Think Leads last year?
Yes.
But it's newer, right?
Yes.
So I am going to have an interview later with Jyll Saskin Gales with a couple of things that were like smaller stories. And she's an ex-Googler. Zoogler, don't they say?
Yeah.
So she has some like insights onto the way they said things and like what she thinks is coming, which is very interesting. But I would like to just say, I felt like there were no announcements from Think Lead Gen, right? And then there were so many from Think Retail. Ginny posted like 3 times Think Retail Day, and there was nothing on Think Leads Day.
It's not shocking.
No love. Ugh. Maybe next year. Okay, and this first story like could have been saved for Think Lead Gen. It applies to both.
It could have, 100%.
But it is text guidelines for ICYMI and PMax. So this comes in 2 parts. If you have text enhancements turned on, you can now add term exclusion, so up to 25 exact words or phrases that you want excluded. So you could exclude cheap. You could exclude discount, like anything you want to never show in your ad text, you can now add as an exclusion, which I think is amazing. And I'm so excited to use.
Absolutely love this. There are things that you just don't do. Like we have clients where it's you just don't sell used stuff.
Mm-hmm,
and
right.
It's so scary having that enhancement turned on because you don't know what it can turn into. But if you know what it can't turn into, that should help with adoption. And so I think this is Google, again, listening to us, which is awesome, and giving us really tangible things that we can use and hopefully, again, get more clients, get more adoption of some of this new AI-driven options.
Mm-hmm. And then B2B lead gen is just hard, like intent-wise. And maybe Google doesn't understand all the nuances of your business, and there's just certain words you never want to say for whatever reason, and now you can just cut them out. So I love that. Oh, and by the way, I asked for this a while ago and we got it. So somebody's listening.
Thank you, Shep.
There's also message restrictions. You can use natural language to specify concepts, associations, or styles to avoid your text assets. So to avoid in your text assets. So they said, for example, saying don't imply our products are discounted would help ensure terms like discount, cheap, bargain, and phrases associated with discounted don't appear in your asset. So this, I'll have to see how it works, you know?
No, I like this.
It's more like AI feeling.
But we have some clients that are like D2C and they don't discount. There's never a discount. There's never a sale. Some colors move to like last call colors, but this is great to not say like, hey, this is a sale or this is cheap or discount. Like that's really important to them. And this is something that would be huge just to be like, don't go this direction on things.
Mm-hmm. So you can have 40 restrictions, 25 exclusions.
And the exclusions are term exclusions, correct? And then the 40 restrictions are more guidance for...
Yeah, they say exact match for the term one.
And those are only 25.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. So more on Thinkly, Jen, at the end. But first, you have some updates too. Or
Yes.
the thinks, they say. The thinks.
Also coming out of the Think Retail from Ginny Marvin, she had announced good news. Campaign total budgets are expanding from demand gen and YouTube campaigns to search, PMax, and shopping campaigns. She also said when you enable campaign total budget, Google Ads will aim to spend your total budget evenly over the duration of your campaign while taking into account higher and lower traffic days. What do you guys think?
I'm obsessed.
I can tell.
Yeah.
It's going to be so nice for like, first of all, when someone's like, let's do a limited test on this strategy or like using this in ad copy or something. And you're like, okay, now you can be like, how much money do you want for that? Let's do it. And just set a lifetime budget. I love it.
Yeah. And especially coming up just in time for the holiday season, you can say, hey, this is a specific campaign that you're setting up for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. This is what we have, this total budget. And knowing that it can hopefully sense that Friday might be bigger or Cyber Monday might be bigger. Awesome. All right. And Danny Goodwin has another great story kind of recapping what we've heard from Google out of both sides of their mouth. In the DOJ documents, there was some context from Google specifically that the open web was already in rapid decline, end quote. So that was from Google's lawyers that was uncovered in the DOJ. And Danny says, is the web alive or dead? It's Schrodinger's cat, a paradox that shifts depending on who's talking and where. And so that line was pulled out and kind of made a big deal of that Google had admitted that the open web is already in decline. But this is sort of contradictory to what Google has been saying, at least publicly, where Sundar Pichai was on The Verge being interviewed and he said, they look at the number of web pages available to us and the number has gone up by 45% in the last 2 years alone. I think people are producing a lot of content. I see consumers consuming a lot of content. And then Nick Fox, the VP of Search in the AI Inside podcast earlier in May this year said, from our point of view, the web is thriving. Additionally, John Mueller from Google, a search advocate there, said, finding a balance is hard. There's so much hype, but seeing so many folks trying to make sites more visible in AI, it's clear that the web is thriving. So you hear the lawyers saying that the open web is in rapid decline, and then you hear these spokespeople or front-facing people, CEO, everybody at Google saying that the web is thriving. And Danny just has a great article here kind of trying to make sense of all of this. I think it's in decline, just my 2 cents from looking at everything and seeing that there's less clicks out, that publishers are having a very hard time, even though, again, according to Sundar and the Googlers, everything's thriving. But yeah, it's just like, where are we? Mike King from iPullRank said, surely they had nothing to do with it, which is Google, which I thought was funny. Lily Ray said, wait, is it thriving or is it in rapid decline? I can't keep up. So there's a whole bunch of good tweets that Danny pulled here. And it's a good look at where we are. I don't know. Where do you guys lean? I'm leaning towards decline with all this.
It's not great out there
No.
for the publishers, I would say.
I mean, how could anybody look at ChatGPT, AI overviews, AI mode, Perplexity, Claude, all these different things and be like, oh yeah, the web is thriving. I just don't get that.
It's like the dog in the fire emoji.
Yeah, this is funny. And then one more note, Jason Kint, who has done a fantastic job covering all the DOJ stuff, had tweeted out that a Google senior exec is already trying to reframe that open web is already in rapid decline and already trying to change that sentence that they put in there. So they're now cleaning that up in the documentation.
And now for this week's
Cool tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners and is really, really cool.
This week's cool tool is for drafting up emails before you send them, which is I do every time because I don't know why, but sending emails kind of freaks me out. They're very formal.
So official.
It's so official.
It's like the only thing with no undue send
It's
anymore.
the
you know?
complete opposite of Slack to me.
Yeah.
Huh, I'm the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, I just let it fly.
Well,
Anyways.
yeah, that's not surprising. I've gotten better. It like depends who I'm emailing, but there's times you need to like give yourself 30 minutes to write an email.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. So you got a tool to help make this better?
I do. Shout out to Jasmine. They had shared the email draft tool that is in Google Docs. All you have to do is go to insert building blocks, and then there's an email draft, and Google Docs will insert an email draft for you that you can transfer right into your Gmail. And I like this tool, and I've been using it ever since they had mentioned it, because if you want to share the Google Doc with someone who you're drafting up an email with, it's really easy to do that, and you don't accidentally send the email if you're not ready.
Done that.
They could just make an email collaboration tool. But until then, this is the solution.
This is it.
Next best thing.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a #fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
This week's Take of the Week comes from Thomas Etchell. And this is sort of on Twitter X, but then he also posted on LinkedIn. So either way you want to follow him, it's Thomas ECCEL. He's saying, yeah, Instagram is bad for our mental health, but what about hidden search terms?
That resonates with me.
Yeah, it's a good take.
Now it's time for this week's Pew Pew Lightning Round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
Before we get into the paid lightning round, we want to take a minute to talk to you about our sponsor, Sign Up. So if you work for an agency like us, you know how expensive client churn can be. Lucky for us agency folks, Sign Up is here with tools to help with client retention. So Sign Up can identify client churn risk, but you can call the shots on how that churn risk is calculated based on your experience with clients and like whatever those red flags are for your agency where somebody might be at risk of churning. You can also view always up-to-date snapshot of every client's health score and drill down to clients who need attention right now. So we're an agency, we're growing, we provide great service for our clients, but as we grow, not everyone on our leadership team has that like day-to-day insight into what's happening with every single client. So this can be a huge help with that. You can know when clients are about to churn before they do, use powerful forecasting and signals to improve client retention. So you can book a demo for Sign Up OS today and see for yourself. That's SYNUP.com to book your demo of Sign Up.
SYNUP.com?
That's correct. Another update from Think Retail that you may have missed is this promotion mode. So this is from a LinkedIn post. I missed it, but I heard about it via LinkedIn from Yash Mandalesha. And promotion mode ramp up will spend faster and prioritize volume over strict efficiency. So he said, unlike seasonality adjustments, which just inform smart bidding about temporary CVR spikes, this bundle incorporates sales dates, promo assets, and ROAS trade-offs for stronger performance signal. I'm out of the e-com game, but I did not love seasonality adjustments when I tried them back in the day. So I'm interested to see if this is a better option for people.
I love this as an e-com guy because the seasonality adjustments just look at conversion rate. And when you have a promotion, there's like so much more to it, and being able to help Google identify that it's not just conversion rate because of like the time, but because it's your offer, not just time. Like that, I think that's the big deal for me, where like there are certain things where your offer is going to stay the same, but let's say, I think Mike Ryan SMX had a great example where he was doing some work for an NBA team that was in the playoffs, right? And that is a great example for seasonality adjustments to say, hey, the conversion rate's going to be higher because there's more demand for this.
Was he selling merch?
Merch, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But this is like, hey, there's going to be more demand because I'm discounting or promoting it or having something special. So I think this is a huge deal and really almost what I wanted seasonality adjustments to be. But there's cases for both, I guess is my point. And this is a great one for promotions.
Yeah. Another update from Think Retail that is a big deal for people outside of the country. Shout out Mike Ryan. AI Max is available to advertisers globally for search campaigns. So go crazy. Next up, as part of what Snapchat is calling, this says just Snap. Like, that's what the kids are calling it?
Kind of both.
You guys were talking about Snapchat before.
We
Things
were.
that make me feel old. Snapchat. Although, to be honest, I had it and then I got logged out. And that,
You don't know your password?
no.
Well, Snap is technically the parent company.
Okay.
Snapchat.
Okay. That makes me feel old. Tate McRae makes me feel really old.
Why?
Respect her artistry, but like, what is this woman saying? I don't know one word she's saying.
I understand where you're coming from.
Run for the Hills, great song.
It's just like blah, 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 blah.
That's the Peanuts character.
And she has a beautiful voice, but I just don't know the words that she's saying.
When I got my tips frosted, the entire time we listened to Tate McRae.
And you knew what she was saying?
Yeah, I have ears.
I do too. And I'm just like, what is happening?
I'm really not the biggest fan of her.
And then the third thing, Celsius.
You don't like Celsius?
Well, I just can't. I have enough trouble sleeping as it is. I'm trying to like get off of I would love to just be done with caffeine. I can't put myself in that position.
I gotta have one. Retro vibe.
How many do you have a day?
It depends. I drink coffee in the morning, iced. I can't do hot coffee.
That's a young person thing.
I know. And then after lunch, I get a little tired, so I gotta drink a Celsius.
So just one?
one, and then if I have stuff to do at night, like if I get home, I'll like drink another one. It's really bad. I drink a
Do
lot
you
of caffeine.
partake?
So my caffeine intake is probably over the maximum limit. I start my day with a severe dose of pre-workout before I go to the gym. And then I get back and I start coffee at home. And then I probably drink at least a half pot of coffee. And then I usually will have more caffeine in some sort of carbonated form.
Do you put creamer in your coffee?
No.
No, it's black.
Imagine the
Ooh.
acidity in his. And you don't have a water bottle either.
I don't drink a lot of water.
Like you.
no.
You don't drink a lot of water?
No.
It's like the most important thing to do for your body.
No. We should get you a water bottle.
Listen, I'm really dialing in my health these days.
Right.
Got the beef tallow.
Beef tallow.
That's where I get my that's where I get my moisture from.
Just try to drink some water. Maybe it would
I
help.
drink like a lot of carbon. I drink a lot of carbonated water.
Okay. Oh, and there's a whole nother joke here because they have an app power pack. Like, it's been done, Snapchat. It's been done. They're rolling out a refreshed app ad offering. So they're going to have sponsored snaps for app advertisers. Like that. They did that on purpose to hurt me, that sentence.
Tongue twister.
Snapchat is also rolling out improved targeting, cost bidding for app campaigns, and adding playable app ads. That's unbelievable. Adding playable app ads on Snapchat.
I don't even know where to start.
They're trying
How
to hurt
would I
me.
even get on a Snapchat as a 43-year-old man?
You don't want to be.
What would I even do? How do you even use it?
I am jealous of it, of like all the camera space I am wasting, because I love to take like little clips of my children being adorable, and
I know.
they take up a lot of space.
Yeah, I do use the memories the most on Snapchat.
Yeah.
But I don't really Snapchat people anymore.
Okay, I hope I never have to talk about Snapchat again. Next up, we have some updates from Brom Vanderhalen. First, conditional formatting in Meta Ads Manager now supports more if columns to choose from. So you could say if cost per result is blah, 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 or if budget is blah, 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 blah. It looks really, really awesome. So thank you, Brom. There are also new Instagram follow custom metrics columns to check out. So you can see Instagram profile visits, Instagram follows, and Instagram follow rate in Meta Ads Manager if that's your goal. And when you have applied value rules to your ad set, you can now select the breakdown of value rules at the ad set level. I just would love to understand Brom's brain. Like, he acts like this is a usable ad platform. It's like he's the only one it is for, you know?
Yeah.
I just want to be more like him. What is that?
That's what I sent Kaylee. I was for tables.
What does that mean? I don't know what this means. He's wearing a Packers jersey. It's white, but it used to say 17, and now it says 1, and it just says Parsons, but only the A and the S are green.
It used to be Devontae Adams, and he was number 17. And then they got one of the best defenders in the NFL, Micah Parsons.
Oh, I heard.
Michael Parsons for Jerry Jones. And they kept the A from Adams and the S from Adams, and then filled everything else in and completely just taped over and a complete hack job in the number 7.
A little
I thought it was funny.
DIY.
Sports fans will like it.
I'm happy for them.
You guys won't.
Okay, closing out with a couple of surprises. SERP. SERP. You guys, I can't talk.
Oh,
Surprises.
surprises. That's good.
I love that one in writing.
You still got it.
First up from Sachin Patel, Bing is testing Microsoft sponsored ads with 3 little dots by the URL. And now you know. Also, Google is testing sponsor ads with a search refinement option. So this is fine tune your search, and you could pick watches for men, watches for women, shop watches, or watches Amazon, and then like see more watches from that category. And now you know. Also, Google is testing a new ad format for local ads. So there's 2 local cards at the top, and when you click on them, the local panel for that Google business profile opens up. What do you guys think?
I think it's nice.
Surprise.
I like little accessories.
Yeah.
Now you know.
What's happening in organic?
All right. First up, according to Glenn Gabe, this is massive. And the New York Times had a piece saying that there will be Anthropic has agreed to pay $1.5 billion plus interest to resolve authors' copyright lawsuits over the company downloading millions of pirated books. And the settlement is the largest payout in the history of U.S. copyright cases. They'll pay $3,000 per work downloaded or stolen to 500,000 authors.
I didn't think pirates could read.
Yard be wrong. So pretty big case there, I'd say. And then there's also another way that publishers could potentially make money from some of these AI companies. And The Verge had a great article where there's a new licensing standard, or RSL, which stands for Really Simple Licensing, similar to RSS, which is Real Simple Syndication. There will be support from Reddit, Yahoo, Medium, Quora, People Inc., that they're going to have this open licensing standard, which I think is cool. And it can enable publishers to outline how these AI companies can use the content and what they have to pay in order to actually scrape their sites for AI training. So hopefully people adhere to this. I guess you could just set up your own RSLs and be on your way, but it could be another way for people to say, if you want this, you got to pay. So I like it.
RDA, really dumb acronym.
All right. And big news from YouTube. This is something that has kind of a global impact, I'd say. They're announcing the expansion of multi-language audio to millions of creators like ourselves over the coming weeks. So if you release a video, you can then say, I want this to be able to be translated to Korean, Portuguese, if you're in Brazil, whatever. And they can watch this show in their native language.
That's really cool.
I hope they do that.
And the pilot's been around for about 2 years, and it was always a small group of creators. And Google had said, on average, creators uploading multi-language audio tracks to their videos saw over 25% of their watch time come from views in the video's non-primary language.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
It's got to be hard to translate me today, though.
Very hard. Now, so most of the things will be like, well, what are they talking about? And from Merchant Center, there are some updates to pricing policies, which are very important, especially this time of year, is merchants now need to disclose merchant imposed fees. So if you have service fees, processing fees, activation fees, handling charges, they need to be provided in those specific regions. So you can't just say, here's the price, and then everybody has to pay this fee on top of it. Looking at you, Ticketmaster, I guess. Like, right? It's probably
Yes,
going after.
crazy.
You look at the tickets and it's like, by the time you're done, it's been upcharged by like 40% by the time you check out.
Mm-hmm.
So I love this. I think it makes sense. And then there's also, you need to disclose any government imposed charges like mandatory taxes or duties. They must not, so any of those must not be included in the price or shipping attributes. And then also any type of regional availability and pricing. It was limited to select countries before and is now rolling out. And then any installment pricing or energy efficiency attributes can go under a certain certification attribute within Merchant Center. So some stuff that you need to know, especially if you got extra charges on any of your products. And that's it in organic. What's happening in social, Gracie?
First up for social, looks like Facebook is poking its head back into nostalgia with a revamped pokes feature.
Do you even know what pokes are?
Yeah, I'm going to open up the floor.
You don't know what they are?
You poke your friends on Facebook?
Yeah.
Like,
To be fair,
are you on?
It was a weird thing. No, it was just like, it wasn't if you were on. It was just like you'd poke them and then they'd poke you back.
That's it?
It's like,
That's
hey.
it.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
So they're trying to bring this back again. I guess they tried
It was a simpler
first time in 2017, and then they tried again earlier this year.
Mhm.
This is the third attempt.
Third time's a charm.
Also with Facebook, they're going to start to remove group chat functionality soon. This hasn't happened yet. It seems like Facebook members prefer keeping their conversations right inside the group with updates showing up in their feeds rather than getting extra pings from other related messenger chats. I don't actively use Facebook chats.
You don't like a group?
Not really, no. I'm
you
not
wanna
a big
be in-
Facebook user.
Trader Joe's Meal Ideas for Busy Moms
Oh, actually, I would like to be in that.
or Aldi Community Isle of Shame
Yes. You say
That one sounds
Aldi?
good.
or Buffalo Mom Squad.
I mean, I'm not a mom.
There's a lot you could learn.
It's like preparation. TikTok search ads are also growing fast. People are using TikTok not just for entertainment, but to discover products, recipes, fashion and beauty.
Oh,
Think-
beauty, like beef tallow.
Like beef tallow.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of beef tallow talk.
Are you on beef tallow talk?
I'm not a huge TikTok consumer, more Instagram guy. That's where I found my beef tallow.
But according to a WARC study, TikTok search function is nearly as important as Google for younger users when it comes to product discovery.
Wait,
Do you-
Gracie, we have you here.
Yeah.
What is the last product that you purchased off of TikTok Shop?
It was a makeup bag,
What was
$2.
the review on the $2 makeup bag?
It feels like a $2 makeup bag. TikTok also shared some performance data on search ads. TikTok activations that included dedicated search campaigns drove 2x higher purchase lift compared to initiatives without. Instagram will now enable you to pin your own comments, not just others, on your post. You write the caption, so maybe if you have additional things to say,
Yeah.
you would use this, but I don't really know why you'd want to pin
Do you
your
had a
own.
correction to issue or?
You could just edit your comment.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. People love to do it on like LinkedIn because it's like your post apparently isn't going to get as much reach if you have links in the.
Oh.
So it's a big thing on like LinkedIn, but not Instagram. You wouldn't have links there anyway.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen it sometimes where you're like talking about some sort of content and then you're like put like a pin of where it happened and you're like, it was at this location. So if somebody wants to go frequent that restaurant that helped give food to like homeless people or something, it's like the top comment. So I could see like something, but from a business side, it might be kind of tough.
Next, X shares insights into key factors that dictate post reach. There's some positive signals and some negative signals. Some positive signals that they listed was video content, including quotes and bookmarks, and being a verified account. That stuff seems pretty straightforward. And then some negative signals is posting offensive context or text, having an offensive username, including external links, and Anthony Hickman, this one is for you, typing in all caps.
But this is only for, this isn't like Instagram, right? Because I'd be worried about Travis if it was Instagram
No, this is X, Twitter.
Why
X.
Travis?
because his name has Killa in it.
Oh,
Also, this is not true. Whatever. Also, this is simply not true. Like, I feel like X loves an offensive tweet. They bring it right to my face. They want me to be upset.
It's like Killa Trav that could be problematic. So I'm just worried for your boy.
I think he's not my boy.
No?
really?
No, I'm a Buffalo Bills supporter. Haven't you heard? I get to go to
topic.
games all the time.
It's a tough topic for Shop.
Who do you root against? Root for Bills Chiefs. Do you root
I
for your
never
boy?
root for the Chiefs.
You don't root for Killa Trav?
It doesn't matter who the Chiefs are playing. I'm rooting against the Chiefs, honestly. Maybe
What if
the
Taylor,
Cowboys are tough too, but
What if Taylor is in attendance? You don't want her to feel bad.
she's fine. She's handled a lot of disappointment in her life. And you know what? People are so worried. Now she's in a happy relationship. How will she ever write a good song again? Maybe the Chiefs lose.
We have
New material.
documented cases of the Chiefs losing.
She comes out with a football album.
Oh,
Do you think she would?
no. I hope not. I wouldn't understand it. I don't get the downs, you know?
I do, actually. I do.
You had me first like a line of scrimmage.
You know, the lore goes like really deep. Her
You're
second
the
album.
only one to move the chains in my heart.
She said, in your life, you'll do things greater than dating the boy on the football team. Album 2. This was always destined, you know?
You were headed to someone else, but I won your interception.
I don't know what to say.
It's really good.
You're,
I should collab.
you're a
with
really good
You should
marketer.
collab with her.
Right.
Lastly, LinkedIn is rolling out a couple of new analytic elements to help you measure your on-platform performance. The first is saves, which will give you data on how many people have bookmarked your post. And the second is sends, which will show you how often your post was shared in a private message.
That's awesome.
I think that's going to be huge.
And that brings us to our real life segment, straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise.
For me, I just want to give a shout out. We have never dabbled in like the account manager game on our agency team. Like I said, we're growing a lot. So we now have people who are like stepping into that role and really helping with like the admin side. So shout out Nicole and Angelina. We call her Ange. They're just really making my life easier. And I see now why like other agencies do it. And it's just been so nice to focus more on performance and less on that stuff.
Hardly working for me this week is Meta. Meta ads is driving me crazy with all the little settings that I have
this
to go.
week.
Yeah, every week of my life. Just driving me crazy with all the little settings and things not saving right, having to reload the page, all the glitches. So Julia understands my pain.
All right. For me, something working hard this week. We've got one client. We've got a really, really low CPL, CPA for the client, like extremely low. And it's a free offering. We're struggling on demand gen to just get clicks in at a low enough cost, struggling on search, obviously. Performance Max. Leading the way.
Wow.
Saving the day. Performance Max. So just another note, if you've got something you're really trying to lower those costs, still make sure that you're going to those qualified leads. In this case, it's a double opt-in. We've cut the CPL cost by 66%. So
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
thanks.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
ICYMI people.
This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
ICYMI people, we have a cautionary tale from Brad Geddes this week. He is telling us some things to look out for if you have if final URL expansion turned on for AI Max, or this could apply for PMax too. So he's talking about things that he's found in the landing page report. So first, for multi-location businesses, he says AI Max does not look at your location settings and then only expand to landing pages that are for that geography. So he's seeing like location-specific campaigns that are sending traffic to the wrong location pages. He's also talking about old landing pages where people still have them on their site and it's sending traffic to the old landing page. So that's not great, especially if it has like incorrect information. And about pages. So that's something I see too, where it's sending people to pages that you would never want to pay for traffic to go to, like an employment page or an about page, stuff like that. So definitely make sure you're keeping an eye on that landing page report and excluding any of those irrelevant pages from your campaigns.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
This week's must-read marketing article of the week. There's an article over on Search Engine Land, but I'm going to go with the thread from X from Aleda Solis talking about the usage of ChatGPT versus Google. And she starts by saying, AI bros, quote, SEO is dead because people are now searching via LLM's clown face emoji, end quote. Here is the data and facts, though, that are backed by reality. And goes on to say that ChatGPT had 5.8 billion visits in August 2025 versus 83.8 visits from Google, and that ChatGPT is growing, but still far away from what Google drives. She's got a bunch of data from SimilarWeb, and she also was talking about some data that Brody Clark had surfaced as well, that 95.3% of ChatGPT users visited Google, but only 14.3% of Google visitors visited ChatGPT. So just something else out there. If I know a lot of times you have clients or bosses or somebody that's like, who is using what, how much overlap is there? And this is just a great thread to read and see all these stats. So thank you, Elena.
And now we're going to send it over to our Think Google recap with Jyll Saskin Gales. Okay, and we are back. We are so blessed to be joined by Jyll Saskin Gales today. Jyll is Google Ads coach to the stars, right, Jyll?
Exactly. If the stars are small businesses, large businesses, and everyone in between.
Yeah, so we'll take some time at the end because you have a lot of amazing resources for people who are looking for help. But what's actually really interesting about your background also is that you used to work for Google Ads. So we're going to talk about some of the announcements today from Think Leads and Think Retail this week. Get your take on them and see if you can provide any inside scoop to like the direction you think we're heading. Does that sound good?
I'll do my best.
Okay, awesome. One announcement that was made was campaign total budgets from demand gen and YouTube campaigns. Now we can also do campaign total budgets for search, PMax, and shopping. And I saw that you were very excited about this. Can you tell us why you're so excited?
I am very excited because budgets are one of course, the most important parts in Google Ads, how much you're going to spend, but they're also one of the most confusing parts because you pick a daily budget, but you're actually setting a monthly budget. And because of that, if you want to spend like just for 1 week for a promotion or something, you couldn't do that before. And so this campaign total budget means now that if you're running a short time frame, you can do that in search and shopping and PMax in a way that you couldn't before. So this is a really big change to the way budgeting works. And I think it's something that's going to be especially helpful for smaller advertisers. So really excited to see that roll out. It's not yet in my accounts. I checked a whole bunch right after the announcement, but they did say available now. So hopefully that will be available soon.
Okay. And how do you see that working for like a monthly budget? Do you think people would set a total, let it run for a month, and then like extend the end date and change the budget again? Or how do you think that would work?
I've seen some people saying like, oh, yay, now you can run a monthly budget, but you're already running a monthly budget, right? When you have a budget in Google Ads now, it's already a monthly budget. So I guess the difference with the campaign total budget, I'll give you an example. I recently filmed a 1-hour free Gmail ads course to put on my YouTube channel. And so I wanted to run a Gmail test for 2 weeks. It's in demand gen, so campaign total budget is an option. So I was like, look, I'll spend $200 over 2 weeks to see what I can do with Gmail ads. In an average daily budget world, you just can't do that. You just can't do that. And so the campaign total budget option means if there's a time period smaller than a month, or maybe a 6-week period over which you want to do something, you can say, look, here's the total I want to spend. And then Google says they'll also pace it more evenly. So in addition to having a total budget, you can expect fewer of those wild swings where it spends double your budget one day, half the budget next, etc.
And I saw people were confused about that evenly thing because it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to spend the same amount every day. It could still like fluctuate based on demand, but it's not going to like front load your budget and spend it all right in the beginning, I think is the goal.
Exactly. Actually, what happened when I was running this Gmail ads test was I had it on a very tight audience and there was 1 day left in the campaign and it hadn't spent the full budget. So just for funsies, I turned on optimized targeting for the last day and it ended up blowing past my budget. It overspent, which I didn't have to pay for. So I got $90 in free advertising. Yay for me.
I'm so happy for you. That's great.
Thank you.
Can't be free. Can't be free.
Can't be free.
I'm excited about that one too. I think it'll be interesting to see how it rolls out. I think it would be great for like promotions too, where a lot of times clients will want to like test something and just have like a small test budget for XYZ plan. And it'll make it easier to set that up. So I think that's a
or if you're like a Black Friday promotion, right? Like you can just run it for 1 week. Or I know for like movie releases or live events, right? You may have a build-up period that just doesn't fit the monthly cycle. So yeah, really excited to see that roll out.
Love it. Okay, this next one you told me you were so excited about was even quieter, I would say, than the monthly budgets. Well, this one, really, I feel like they kind of skipped over it. I didn't hear it in the presentation. I was doing work. I was in and out. But I saw your post on LinkedIn about this journey-aware bidding. Can you tell us what you heard about that?
I promise I didn't hallucinate it. Gaurav, who is one of the presenters, the one who hands out the data guy t-shirts, towards the end of his presentation, he mentioned journey-aware bidding, and he said this is a bid strategy that will be aware and responsive to the whole customer journey. That is all he said. But initially, like the moment I heard that, I got really excited because now if you want to use bidding in Google Ads for a lead objective where you're bidding for a lead and then maybe a marketing qualified lead and a sales qualified lead and a customer, the workaround now is we assign these arbitrary values to all of those and what should the values be, and then we use target ROAS, and it's really complicated. And so what I interpreted from him saying journey aware bidding is Google knows, because it's a new feature that came out earlier this year, if a certain conversion action is a lead versus a qualified lead versus a purchase. And so with this feature, what I'm hoping it means is you could feed all those conversions in. You no longer need to give all these arbitrary values, and it'll be journey aware. It'll understand that a customer is more valuable than a qualified lead, and that a qualified lead is more valuable than a lead, for example. So I'm hoping that this will make advertising easier and simpler for lead gen businesses. But I also wonder if this like actually wasn't quite ready for prime time, because yes, afterwards, if you look at the lead gen recap, it's not mentioned anywhere in the official stuff. And Ginny Marvin, the ads liaison at Google, actually commented on my LinkedIn post to say, "Glad to hear the interest in this vision. It's very early days for this pilot, and we'll have more to share in the coming months."
Interesting. I feel like that it could be amazing. It could totally change the game for lead gen bidding. Like, that's a passion of mine too. Or I just don't want all those things in the same campaign. Maybe I'll have to learn to like that, or maybe there will be a way to make it work. But I want to have like top of funnel campaigns with one goal and like lower funnel campaigns with maybe different budgets. So I don't know if that means you have to keep them together to do the journey aware bidding, but I'm definitely interested to see how it's going to play out.
I'm more of a consolidation advocate, so I am really excited for this. And more broadly, what I'm excited about is I've started writing my second book now, which is all about bidding. And when I decided a few months ago to write my second book about that, bidding had not changed in like 5, 6, 7 years. And then all of a sudden this year, we got smart bidding exploration. We got target CPC and demand gen campaigns. Now we're potentially getting journey aware bidding. So just selfishly, I'm also excited that there's like innovation happening in the bidding space, because it had been a pretty sleepy area of Google Ads for a long time.
Yeah. I wish you had written that book like a little bit earlier, because I had to train. We have some new hires I was training on bidding today, and I was like sweating trying to explain all the different bid strategies. I was just like, this is so much.
Send them to my Inside Google Ads podcast episode from a couple of weeks ago. It was all 12 bid strategies explained in one episode. And at the time of recording, there were 12. I think I managed to do it in like 18 minutes.
That's amazing. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I will definitely have to point them that way. Yeah. And I would just like to take this moment to also, there are so many announcements from Think Retail, and then like Think Leads. What did we really even get? Like Ginny hasn't posted today. Where is the love for lead gen?
I mean, I was so excited that they had their own event, but it's true. Although there was a recap page, there's almost nothing new on it. There were updates to lead form assets and some new stuff in Google Analytics, and then that overly fancy AI audience assets thing. But yeah, I think retail definitely got a lot more announcements. If you even go to the Google Ads blog, there's a whole section on the Google Ads blog for Think Retail, and none for you, Glen Coco. Nothing about Think Leads.
You're right. At least we have something. So maybe next year we'll get like the actual announcements. But even like the copy exclusion announcement that they had for AI Max and PMax, like you could have just done that at.
Could have done that at Think Leads.
Yeah. I don't know.
Also, I will say, if you watch these events live, the Think Retail live chat with people was like so benign. And then the Think Leads live chat was totally unhinged.
Oh, really?
People were dropping memes and criticizing Google and saying that PMax is awful. And then they started self-promoting. I don't know, like what was happening in the chat was way more entertaining than what was happening on screen. Fun tip for the future, that if you can make the time to watch these live, sometimes it's worth it because you catch things like journey aware bidding that you wouldn't catch otherwise. And then you get some unhinged chat from folks around the world.
That sounds really fun. Yeah, it's tough out there in lead gen. I'm not surprised. Okay, so another thing we were talking about a little bit offline was, based on your background with Google, you said that you heard some certain phrases, or you noticed some ways that Google worded things that was interesting to you and might be like a sign to the direction we're heading in Google Ads. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, because you have to remember, at an event like this, by the time those speakers are going on stage and saying something, what they're saying is pre-planned. There's no ad-libbing, and it's been vetted by at least a dozen different people and run through multiple teams. So every word is carefully chosen. Everything has meaning. So there was a lot of talk about AI Max, and one of the speakers at Think Retail said that AI Max is the best way to show up in AI overviews, which I thought was interesting because it's not the only way. So we've been told. We've been told broad match and shopping campaigns and PMax can get you there, but apparently AI Max is the best way to show up. So I'm paying attention to that.
Yeah.
And then they also said the way they described what AI Max does, because I know we're all struggling, like, how do we explain what AI Max is and what it isn't? So their description was it combines broad match with keywordless targeting to match your ads with new kinds of queries, even those you couldn't predict. And the even those you couldn't predict, I also find some really interesting language, because I know I've been seeing a lot of people testing AI Max for a couple of days, and then it's like, oh, it's bringing in all this irrelevant stuff. And it's kind of like, yeah, that's the point. If it was relevant stuff you could predict, you'd already have it in your keywords. So I thought that was really interesting from Think Retail, just the emphasis on AI Max way more than PMax and the way that they talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
maybe the AI Max was more for the Think Leads. Was that at Think Leads, or did they say it at Think Retail too?
that was from Think Retail. They did
Okay.
talk about AI Max at Think Leads, but I would say AI Max, PMax, Demand Gen all got kind of equal love. At Think Retail, obviously, it was a lot of YouTube, but it was a lot of AI Max talk, which surprised me because I don't
Yeah.
think of it as much as a retail solution because retail has shopping and Leads
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
So that the emphasis there was interesting to me. What I found interesting at Think Leads is the first presenter said this is the greatest time in the history of search. They had a lot of stats about how great search is and how like the Google has the most used generative AI product in the world with AI overviews. So you could tell they were very much responding to competitors. And then he went on to share some SEO tips before getting into any Google Ads announcements, which again, I can't think of a time ever at a Google sales event where like, let's just talk about SEO for a moment,
Yeah.
have relevant, helpful content. And so I thought that was really interesting.
I remember them doing that at Google Marketing Live a little bit this year.
Oh, this year GML. Okay, so maybe
Yes.
this is the first year they're doing that. Yeah.
There was like a weird moment where I was like, why are we talking about SEO? Like, this is so weird. Yeah. So do you have any thoughts on where that's headed? Like why they're talking to us about SEO or?
I mean, we know that SEO and ads are related in that the overlap is your website, right? And so the more AI is being used to drive either your organic results or your paid results, it's going straight to your website to figure out the right queries and to create the right assets for you. And that's the same on both sides of the house. So I can see why that emphasis would be important in order for Google to be able to properly match your ads to the right queries and write the right headlines for the right searchers at the right time in the right place. So it was interesting. I have noticed that these teams tend to be quite separate, whether it's in-house or agency. And so I also wonder, if Google might start to have a narrative about like bringing this together. We know how they're all about bringing it together when you talk about your media buyers for search versus like for video, bring that together, give YouTube all your dollars. And so I wonder if that narrative is now going to extend to like SEO and Google Ads converging more, which I think they should, by the way. But the
Interesting.
greatest time in the history of search, that was just a very interesting proclamation to me.
I know. If we're talking about not just search ads, all search, I feel like some SEOs might really disagree with that, but
I am glad to be on the ad side of the house. Like I know very little about SEO except what I
Yeah.
learn at conferences, seeing brilliant SEO speak. And we definitely, as much as we may crap on stuff like this, like at least we get events like this,
I know.
At least
know.
Google has a help center and things we can actually follow. So I am grateful for that.
Definitely. Very grateful. Okay, something else. This is kind of circling back to what you said about AI Max being the best way to show in AI mode. Did you say or AI overviews?
AI overviews. Yeah.
Okay. And then you also talked about an example of some shopping ads in AI overviews, right?
AI overviews and AI mode. Yeah, they showed some screenshots. And I thought it was interesting because I feel like with these things, we saw that same example of the stain remover for like a year when we were
Yeah.
expecting ads to come into AI overviews. So they showed some different examples of what shopping ads can look like in AI overviews, what shopping ads can look like in AI mode. And it was in my opinion, quite simple. They took the long user query, which was like, 5 to 10 words, distilled it down to a 3-word search and showed some ads. So like, for example, for the AI overview, in the example they gave, the search was like, how to take a small dog on a flight. And the shopping ads, it just said, explore small dog carriers. I'm like, well, that's interesting. It's just a very simple search, deduced from the prompt. So again, really early stages. I'm in Canada. I haven't seen any of these in the wild. Have you seen ads in AI overviews or AI mode before in the wild?
Never in my life.
Yeah.
And I also want to say, I think this would have been a great opportunity. Think Leads could have showed us how these are going to work for lead gen, because I have no concept of how that would work.
They
And I'm
didn't show us
dying
a
to
single
know.
example,
Yeah.
right?
It's
Are we only
shopping.
getting shopping and AIOs? Like, what's going on here? I know. Think Leads very much felt like an afterthought. It even started a little bit later than Think Retail did. So we did get Think Leads, but yeah, it was definitely not as helpful and not as exciting as Think Retail was the day before.
Okay. Yeah, I was bummed about it. Okay,
Yeah.
let's unpack a couple more announcements here. And just, you talk to a lot of different people. You're coaching people, right? Advertisers in the industry. So I'd love to know if you think things like text guidelines, do you think that's going to help people who have been more hesitant to use those AI-driven solutions to use AI Max and PMax if they have that extra lever of control?
I think for Google Ads practitioners like you and me who live and breathe this stuff every day, yes, absolutely. I think it's an especially useful feature for like agencies, for example, who just know for their legal clients or their finance clients, we're just not going to use this. Okay, now we can. But for your average run-of-the-mill Google Ads user who's running Google Ads by themselves, like they don't even understand what AI Max is, never mind what the text customization, rules about what you can say and you can't say. So it's always such a struggle, and like I can empathize with the people who develop Google Ads, because on the one hand you have the power users who want all the features, and then on the other hand you have your everyday users who have no idea what any of this stuff means. So like me personally, yes, happy this exists, but I think adoption is going to be so low, because to even understand what this feature is, there's like 3 other Google Ads concepts you need to understand that are so confusing.
I know. I am excited about those text
I bet you are,
enhancement
yeah.
updates, though. So excited. Get rid of cheap or whatever else you need to. That'll be awesome.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, one more thing that I should have brought up before when we were talking about Think Leads and the journey aware bidding. It looks like we're getting some new Google Analytics reports. And again, we did not get a lot of information on these, but would love your thoughts on the lead gen acquisition report, the disqualification report, and then it says there's a single click creation of qualified leads and existing customers.
Yeah, I think it sounds nice. I mean, honestly, since the switch to GA4, I use GA4 so much less because I just understand it so much less than I used to. So I think these are nice features. Again, I think it's more your power users who probably could have done this stuff themselves anyway, who are going to be using reports and templates and automatically created audiences in Google Analytics. But the flip side, I'm excited to see lead gen get some love, and this is some lead gen specific love in Google Analytics. So
yeah,
I'm not mad at it. I also love audiences. I wrote a whole book about it. That's my first book. So love to see more audience targeting capabilities as well, and easier audience creation for advertisers.
Mm-hmm. I'll be interested to see how it works. We have like amazing custom reporting for some of our like bigger budget clients for that whole lead process. But then it's harder for smaller businesses to set some of that up. So I think it'll be interesting to see like how easy it is for people to set up, and if you need a huge ad budget to use something like that, or if it'll kind of be a good out of the box solution for people. So.
Yeah. And then of course, the hard part of all this stuff is you still need to configure it. Like a while ago in Google Ads, they brought in to the conversion goals where you can define directly with the conversion action if this is a lead or a qualified lead or a customer. But I still work with so many clients who just haven't configured that because they don't know what they don't know. So if you can configure the stuff and set it up, then these tools can be more powerful for you. So we'll see how Google Analytics tries to help you with that, if that Google Analytics agent maybe is going to help you out, or what that's going to look like.
Oh, yeah. That's exciting. I had that beta in my account today. I noticed the
Oh, you did?
advisor. Yeah. I haven't used it yet, but I just noticed it earlier today. So I kind of am excited to troll it and ask it some like funny questions, and I'll get back to you with how it works.
Ad advisor, not to be confused with advisor.
I know, yeah. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, I totally agree. And I think with all the lead gen stuff, like lead gen can be great, but you need a lot of money to spend. So even with the journey aware bidding, I wonder if that will be accessible to everyone if you need like a big beautiful budget to do something like that.
I mean, even smart bidding exploration, which is ooh la la la, so fancy. Like you need to be using target ROAS in search. So right off the bat, most advertisers are not using target ROAS in search. And then you need to be maxing out your current opportunity, which again, how many advertisers are currently maxing out the current opportunity? And then it makes sense to test. So I'm excited by the idea of journey aware bidding. It could also never see the light of day, but one can hope that this will be something useful to help all advertisers get better results for their ads.
Exactly. We can only hope.
You can only
Okay, Jyll. Well, we have learned so much from you today, but you really are one of the best in the biz for coaching and resources for people who are trying to learn Google Ads. So can you tell us a little bit more about your book and your courses and where people can get in touch with you?
Thank you so much. Well, wherever you are watching or listening to this right now, you can find my podcast called Inside Google Ads on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, etc. So that is a great way to get started if this is the first time you are seeing or hearing me. If you are interested in audience targeting, I have a best-selling book called Inside Google Ads, Everything You Need to Know About Audience Targeting, available on Amazon as well as a few other places, Google Play, Kobo. And then, yes, if you want help with your Google Ads account, you manage it yourself, but just want a second opinion, then I offer Google Ads coaching. You can learn more about that at jyll.ca.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jyll. This was a great little interview.
See you soon.
Talk to you soon.
And now on to our playlist of curated songs to work to. You can head over to playlist.marketingoclock.com to listen to Marketing a Playlist. I will be adding Okay Love You Bye by Olivia Dean.
I'm going to be adding Cliche, the sad version by MGK.
And I'm going to be adding Go-Go Juice by Sabrina Carpenter.
It's the best song on the album.
It is the best song on the album. I listen to it every morning on my way into work now.
It's a great way to start your day.
Yeah, hypes me up.
All right, that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Thanks for listening.
We miss you already.
We can't wait to see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered. We share the news as it breaks in our Discord community. Head over to community.marketingoclock.com to join.